Immigrants seeking asylum is one angle of the border story that did not get much attention last week. But Debbie Georgatos from 660 AM The Answer says asylum deserves a closer look. In My Voice, My Opinion.
Story this past week about kids and parents at our border is really about America's asylum policy. The purpose of asylum law is to protect those suffering from persecution. Historically, fraudulent asylum claims are rampant. Google asylum fraud. Asylum applications increased 1,700% under the Obama administration because lax immigration policy practically sent an invitation to flood our southern borders. Now, Pueblo Sin Fronteras, a radical leftist group that opposes all borders, is coaching border crossers how to get asylum. When Republicans proposed a bill on Tuesday that would have prevented separating parents and children and expedited asylum hearings, Democrats rejected it. Why? Because for them, this isn't about fixing asylum law or about children. It's about overrunning our border with people who have no legal right to enter America. Americans just want the rule of law and our borders protected. I'm Debbie Georgatos, and this is My Voice, My Opinion.